everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Here Be Dragons, where creativity meets courage and dragons live in the art we create and the lives we lead. I'm Carla Morrow of DragonLady Art, and with me is my co-pilot and dragon rider extraordinaire,
Alan Childers of Alan Childers Art and Illustration. We're here to talk about the dragons we face, their treasure we're after, and the wondrously weird journey of life. Every episode will explore what it takes to face your dragons and maybe even ride one.
So grab your shields, sharpen your claws, and let's dive in because today we're asking the question that matters most. What dragons are you facing?
What dragons are you facing?
What dragons are you facing? Hi, Alan.
I think we're facing show prep dragons, aren't we, Carla?
Lots and lots and lots of show prep dragons. I have to pay for 4 shows in the next week.
Ooh, shit.
On top of the convention that I've already paid for. So I'm going to have probably 2,700 in show fees floating around for the next couple of months. So
that's a lot.
I did get moved off the wait list for Kansas City Renaissance Fair, the big one. So I'll be there for 2 weeks. I need to decide tonight if I'm going to do a double or a single. It's not that much more to do a double. And I think if I don't do a double, I'm just going to kick myself the entire time for not doing one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you want to do a double. Hi, Renee. So you want to do a double at Kansas City Comic-Con.
Ren Fair.
Or Ren Fair. Blah, blah, blah. Words. And then you're also potentially doing Great Plains too as well, in the fall Great Plains.
Yes.
And you've already done spring Great Plains earlier this year too, so that's
that one I think I'm going to do a single at because it'll set up and tear down. Although you'll be there, but you'll be doing your own booth, so that won't matter.
Maybe I haven't gotten an approval yet, so.
It took me a little while to get one too for spring. I don't think the guy that runs it is the most organized.
He's probably got other things going on, so
probably, yeah.
Probably trying to get like permits and all that good jazz going.
We can hope.
So I have never been to that one. I've never worked Kansas City before. I visited Kansas City Renfest a few times, and it's a very busy kind of affair with how many people are there. So
that's what I'm hoping for.
Not, to me personally, I would think, and this could be speak because Kansas City Ren Fair is segmented a lot better as far as like their little regions, but Norman seemed like it had way more people. But Kansas City Ren Fair does have a lot of steady flow of people, like in a huge parking lot that takes you like just like 5 to 10 minutes just to get to the actual Renfest.
Right. Yeah. It'll be interesting. It'll be my first multi-weekend Ren Fair, and I only got in for 2 weekends, which is fine. That's all I wanted to try to see. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to, stretch it, but and it's also great that Kansas City Ren Fair is also allowing guest spots because committing to like a 6-week show.
Yeah.
A 6-week show would be like.
Yeah, well, and a lot of the multi-weekend Ren Fairs have a very in-depth process for their applications. You have to apply to get in the show, and then if they don't have a guest space or pop-up space for tents, then you have to buy a building, and you have to get approved to get in the show before you can purchase the building. And the buildings, you own the building, but not the land that it's on. And those buildings can run anywhere from $7,000 to $30,000 for the building. And then you have to pay the show fee on top of that, which is usually like $100 a square foot of frontage space for a couple of the other ones that I've looked into. They're all going to be different.
So they have So they have like rentals, but then they also have like timeshare things.
Basically. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know like several of my art friends have been either purchasing or selling off their art booths in the last couple of years, which is insane to see. You know, you used to, and it's not, there's like no bathroom on the premises, there's no kitchen, there's very little electricity. So you're basically just buying a shed that you hang artwork in. So,
You know, it's a lot to hang on one artist to have to cover all that. Like for me, it almost seems like it would make more sense to go in as an art collective on a
mhm.
building and have like maybe even like rotate out like every like as they can afford it, like maybe rotate artists through there, but like um because that seems like
It's
or
a
even
lot.
like even have like different artists like if I were to do it, if I were thinking of like buying an actual building, I would like make it like an art collective and then like
Mhm.
have it to where like artists switch out like maybe 2 weeks. Like I would still run it like a guest artist spot, almost like you got 2 weekends and then like another artist comes in there and set up shop for 2 weekends. I think
Yeah,
that
I
would be
know a
a
couple of
smart way to
artists that do
go.
something similar.
Yeah, because I just think that's a lot to hang on one artist to try to, because you know even if guests come back multiple weekends, because some people get like the pass, like the ultimate pass, right? If they bought from you once, it's probably rare they're going to buy from you again.
Maybe. I know that I don't know about, but I know that I have several art friends who just do the multi-weekend Ren Fair circuit. So they do 4 to 6 multi-weekend Ren Fairs, and that's all they do. That's what they make all year. So I mean, it's still a lot of work. It's still 6 weeks. It's basically, you know, if you're at a good one, it would basically be 6 Normans in a row.
Yeah.
And I know the average that I know of, you're talking 3 to 5K a weekend for 6 weekends in a row. So if you can pull 5K per weekend for that whole weekend, I mean that's 30K right there. So that makes it worth it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also like carrying that much stock, and is that I don't even think that's mostly on print sales anymore. I think it's a lot of product sales. Um, and like the ones that I know are licensed through companies, so they're not doing print on demand. So they're buying their products wholesale and then retailing them through their booth. Um, and there's places, you know, they rent a post office box or a mailbox for the run, so they can order. You know, if you're out 2 weeks in, you can place an order and have it shipped to you by before the end of the weekends and stuff like that. And it's a whole rigmarole. I've been looking into it for like the last 2 years. And like my first hurdle is the fact that none of these Ren fairs are even remotely close to where I live. They're all at least a 9 hour drive, if not closer to a 15-hour drive. And that's all of them. That's Arizona, Colorado, Muskogee,
California.
Oklahoma, California Pleasure Fair. Kansas City is, I think, a 14-hour drive for me. There's 3 in Texas, Scarborough, Sherwood, and TRF. TRF is really hard to get into. That's the other thing, is that there's a whole crew of people that do these shows that will do multiple shows, and they literally for like 6 months they jump from show to show to show. That's why Norman gets the people that it does a lot of time, because it's people that are leaving Arizona and on their way to, I think, Muskogee.
Muskogee, yeah.
um, yeah, Muskogee or Texas. um, but so they
Well,
stop there as a layover before
and
going down to.
you mentioned that single fair weekends have been drying up because a lot of the single fair shows have been moving or trying to grow into multi weekend fairs, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, like for some mid tier artists or artists that can't travel very far, that reduces an opportunity for them
For sure.
in some cases.
Yeah.
So it's like you're being rewarded for being flexible, but then being punished for having, uh, not having that flexibility as an artist to commit to that type of
Mhm.
to because that's too that's in some cases you have to stay an entire week in the place that you're at, so you have to make hotel costs as well as everything else. So
Yeah. Or have friends.
yeah, have friends.
I'm staying with well, I need to message her, but I'm planning on staying with a friend in Kansas City. I have friends in Denver and Dallas and Phoenix, Salt Lake City, and we all stay at each other's houses when we're at various shows. So that
Yeah.
kind of helps. There's a few
Well,
friends
yeah,
that
I
I
mean,
won't stay with anymore,
and
but
even with that, you can't always count on that because there's family
no.
emergencies, there's things come
Hmm.
up, So
So
it's precarious.
yeah. Well, making that decision too, like most people when they start out doing shows, they do their local shows, or they do like 2 hours away because that's drivable, right?
Mhm.
I did last year when I did Carlsbad. Carlsbad is 2.5 hours away. Um, the show runs Saturday, Sunday. I'm sorry, Friday, Saturday. You're there Friday morning at 8 a.m. to set up, and then the show starts at 3 and it goes until 8 p.m. And then Saturday starts at 10 and closes at 8 p.m. on Saturday. Now, Carlsbad is very weird because it's all oil town and there's not a whole lot of hotels, and the hotels that are there are incredibly expensive. So I ended up driving back and forth 2.5 hours. So I was getting home between midnight and 1 a.m. and then getting up at 5 in the morning to go back to the show the next day. And then after teardown, I think it was like almost 2:30 when I got home on Saturday night. Um, and
Man.
then I died for a week. Like for a whole week, I was like, "Don't talk to me. I cannot
Don't talk to
function
me.
as a
Don't talk
human
to me. I'm
being."
out.
Exactly.
I'm
And I
checked out.
normally wouldn't do that, but I didn't have a choice last year.
Yeah,
Um,
a large. I usually need a reset, like 2 or 3 days after a convention or something to reset. And But one thing I was also thinking about with these longer shows and shows further away, if you have any kind of like family or dependents, like I have pets, it's just another factor you have to think about. You have to get a somebody to watch them if you do not have a partner or a spouse or a support system for your dependents as an artist. Like those are extra added factors and extra added fees that come out of you being able to participate. Being an artist and doing shows in this way um is really kind of like a pay to play system, and a lot of times it just seems like maybe folks just break even is probably the best bet.
for sure, for sure. We've used Rover, we've used family, we've used friends because we've got 3 dogs. Um, or we have a couple of friends that rotate. One friend comes in the morning and the other friend comes at night, kind of deal. We're fortunate. We've had to use Rover, but yeah, it's definitely not cheap to
Yeah,
do this at all, right? And that's not even like counting like your show. That's just to get to the show. I mean, I have thousands of dollars invested in tents and setup and tables and my vehicle and everything else, and that's been over 20
at this
years,
point so do I.
right? You're definitely getting there. Um, yeah, my tents are super high end tents, and they run me. My tents are $800 and $900 a piece right now. And then I have a smaller one that was like an $80 tent for quick pop ups that I know the weather's going to be good,
Yeah.
right? And that's it too. These outdoor shows, like the last couple of weeks, there's been major art shows across the nation, and the weather has been horrendous. Microbursts and hurricane level winds,
Yeah, I
and
think
I
I think
mean,
a town in Wisconsin just got leveled by a
yeah,
tornado.
yeah, for
Um,
sure,
so sorry for anybody out there. Hope everybody's
definitely.
okay. But yeah, that's remind. I'm just 40 minutes from Joplin when the
Hmm.
Joplin tornado went through. So in Missouri, and
Yeah,
so there are reminders that every day, and people are living with like weather anxiety and stuff like that. So
and you're in a canvas tent
yeah,
in a park, and you've seen
yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen my
It,
setup.
it
There's
rained.
40 pounds per leg. There's
Silver Sage was technically my first named Renaissance Festival, and it rained nearly the entire time. fortunately people were spending even though it was raining. So
That's what's nice about the Ren fairs.
the rain actually drives people into the tent. So it did work in that benefit until it got too rainy, and then like my tent wanted to fall in.
Got to get
And
those
then
pool noodles in the corners.
I did not figure that out in time. So
Yeah, it's
that's
tips and tricks you learn along the way. And
yeah.
well, and you saw how anal I
Plus,
was
they
about
were
my
like
setup at Norman.
$12 at Walmart for pool noodles, and I was like,
Wow, what
I'm
the
just
hell?
gonna,
No, go to Dollar Tree.
I'm gonna go to Dollar Tree.
Go to Dollar Tree. That's ridiculous. Yeah, pool noodles in the corner, at least 40 pounds per week per leg. Double staked, triple staked, because I do a stake in each, the feet holes, and then I do a corkscrew stake on each of the corners. Stabilizer bars.
Yeah, I
You
did have the
try to do.
stabilizer bars.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you for buying those. That's awesome.
Yeah, I
Yay!
did have, and I made my own weights, which was really interesting to do because I made them out of empty, like cat litter containers.
That works, man.
I
That is
just
such a
I
good
just
idea.
mixed up some Quickcrete and chopped the
Yep.
tops off of them and mixed up Quickcrete, and
There you go.
they're kind of oddly shaped, but they're the size, almost the size of a head. So I think if I get some masks, I could really like do some goblin masks or some like
There you go.
could get the whole like Slate a monster vibe or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, it's like everything else. You want to start as inexpensive as you can and try to invest in better stuff as quickly as you can. But you don't want to skimp out on stuff. Like if you go to, start checking yard sales for weights, even if you're using, because the first like 5 or 6 years I used the round weights that you put on bars for weightlifting.
Yeah.
And I just looped the ratchet strap through the hole and use that as weights. Like there's ways around it that you can do it more inexpensively.
Yeah.
But you don't want to skimp on it either because the weather is crazy and you don't want to lose thousands of dollars of stock.
Yeah, zip tie if you have all you have is a free weight, just zip tie it to the leg.
Yes, and you don't want to hang it because if the wind picks up your tent, that will become a deadly weapon. And those things swing. So yeah, you want to, like, if you can, like join some fine art groups and things like that. Keep an eye out on tents. There's a lot of artists that are getting out of the game right now. So like trim lines, light domes, and things like that, tents like that have been coming up really, really inexpensively.
Oh, nice.
Used. And those are, I mean, I think my mother-in-law has been doing shows for close to 40 years and she's only on her second light dome. So, or trim line, I don't remember which. But yeah, those are tents that are like guaranteed to last 20 to 40 years with some TLC, things like that. But then like, yeah, so you want to try to invest in as much in your setup as you can to make sure you're not going to blow away.
So what other preps things have you been that you have to take into account whenever you're getting ready for a show?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
As far as like the work, prepping the work and getting everything ordered on time and
check your stock where you get your stock from. You always want to order, 3 to 4 weeks in advance in case something happens and you have to like emergency order it from somewhere else. I've had that happen where I've ordered prints and they like something like a blizzard came through and wouldn't let them deliver it in time. So I had to run down to Staples and order my prints from Staples to get through the show. So there's things like that. There's, so when I finish the show, everything kind of gets put away and then I don't look at it until a month before the next show. Although I tend to schedule my shows back to back anyway. So when I get home, I do inventory and then I try to reorder as quickly before the show as possible. So at least a month in advance. And there are things that, it's like a pick and choose. Prints I always have to carry. Products I try to get in as much as I can. But like Oracle decks I have to order by the case. So I have to drop almost 1,000 in Oracle decks every time I order them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's why I keep running out of Oracle decks because I order a case and then they sell out in 2 shows. And I should be ordering more. Whoops. Sorry.
You might have to raise your prices on your Oracle decks there.
I can't. It's set by the publisher.
Oh, great.
So yeah, but there's 50 decks per box. So it's It's $1,000 for the 2 Oracle decks, and I'm about to start Oracle deck number 3.
And that publisher's out of Australia too, right?
Correct, but it's distributed by Llewellyn, which is a U.S. distribution company.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that, and then there's making sure like your applications are in on time, and if you're looking for shows, the Ren list is the Renaissance Fair one. That's all the Renaissance fairs in the nation. Zapplication is really good for fine art. There's also Sunshine Artist Magazine, which has been like in print for like 40 or 50 years. It's the premier artist magazine.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to have most of your fine art shows listed. There's been some really, really good convention ones that are cosplay based. So I think it's like animecosplay.com or something like that. But it's people that I know. You had a rough weekend at the Anime Con.
Look, I think there is something to be said for like if you know that if you're doing original work and your work is in a niche, like fantasy work is in a niche, and like target your audience. Know, is this going to resonate with the audience that I'm trying to sell to, and stuff like that, and kind of like gauge. It would be helpful if you kind of could gauge, like, if you could get like before you've already committed to the convention, like who's gonna be there, because like I think I was one of 2 fantasy artists, and there was some, and then the rest were kind of like a lot of different pop artists. They were really great pop artists, and I really made friends with one of them, the Stitch of the Midwest, they, but being stuck in between 2 of them, you have to navigate a nostalgia curve, because people automatically have an intrinsic nostalgic connection to these characters that, and not your characters.
Right, that's pop culture.
Right? You have to, you have to do extra work to your artwork has to be at a level where it bypasses that, or you as the seller, as the artist, has to do more work to bypass that, and it just was not happening with the furry anime crowd that day.
Sorry. Yeah, if you can. Well, and you did the con last year too, and did okay, right? That was when it was a single day con.
Yeah, I did okay last year too. Well, and there were some other factors with it. I think that this con didn't do as well, but being a 2-day, moving into a 2-day convention, like it was a single day convention, then it moved to 2-day convention, and then, but also like the price point for the tickets rose. One of the, some of the location around it was funneling in quite a few people last year at the mall. This year, a lot of closed stores in the mall, so they were not funneling as many people. So there were other factors other than my art wasn't good enough.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely not what I'm saying at all. No.
Well, I was, for a brief second, I was thinking that, because I had such a bad show, and then I just, but at those points you have to remember the shows that you did really well, and I did really well at Silver Sage Renfest and some of these other shows. So I just have to remember that it's not you. There's a lot of different factors that go into why you're not selling. It's just,
for sure.
Sometimes
especially now,
it's like, when the pinball drops and you just land on the wrong side of the clicker.
Yes. Well, and as you're saying, it went from a 1-day show to a 2-day show, and then it raised its ticket prices. Like, that's similar to what we're seeing in the Renaissance fairs, right? Where it's not just a single weekend. Now all these single weekend Ren fairs are trying to push out to 2 weekends, even though they're pop up, even though, XYZ. And now, as you said, you're not, I tend to do, I can't stand 1-day shows. I can't stand getting there at 6 o'clock in the morning, setting up my booth, because my booth is on a good day, a 4-hour setup and a 2-hour teardown. That's a really long day for me. I could trimline it, but then I won't make as much money, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
So when a show goes from a 1 day to a 2 day, well, now you have to factor drive one, your expenses just doubled, right? It's not just oh, that's great, I can sell for 2 days. Maybe more people will show up. And I'm finding that anytime a show has a change, whether it changes weekend or changes venue or changes hands or ups the prices in any way, it takes a couple of years for the show to restabilize.
Yeah.
I used to do an anime convention in Denver that's one of the oldest anime conventions in the country. And the first, several years I did it were bangers. And then they outgrew that particular venue and they moved to another venue. Well, that was okay. It still did okay. The first few years, of course, they were figuring out flow and traffic and stuff like that, but it was still worth doing. And then they outgrew that venue, which was still in Denver proper, and moved out to a hotel way out in BFE. Well, the sales fell through the floor. And a lot of it was because the transit system for Denver didn't go out to that far ass hotel. So and it was an anime show, and I would do really, really well. So now you have all these anime kids that can't just ride the tram into the convention. They have to get rides. They have to go with their parents. And a lot of them are staying at the con hotel to get the whole con experience. So now it's no longer at, the Denver Convention Center. It's at this hotel. So now they're dumping more money into the hotel. And my sales that used to be my top selling show of the year. And then I ended up having to drop it around 2018, 2019, because it just wasn't pulling the numbers that it was, 10 years prior to that. And that's, the shows evolve and change, and keeping an eye on that and understanding that, okay, something changed this year. My sales are probably going to drop is something you need to keep in mind.
Well, and see, those are only two markets that I've attempted to tap
Mm-hmm.
and tap in this area, and the Renfest market, like just dipping my toe into that market, and then the convention market. Um, those are two markets that I'm just getting used to, and not even utilizing the full range of the art festival market that there is around here, because Joplin has an art festival market that I have not looked into yet, and some other places. So I typically try not to do those as much, just because it's a lot of outdoor and stuff like that. It's the same thing, and some art festivals are really picky about your setup, as far as like it has to be the white commercial tent. It has to be, everything has to be framed, or everything has to be presented in a specific way. And I don't, those, like if it's that going to be like that, then I probably don't, like, I need to have a little bit more flexibility with that. As far as that, if it's just show up like a street fair style event, um, like um, uh, Pittsburgh Art Walk here in Pittsburgh, Kansas, is a 1 day, I believe it's 6 hour event now. You set up on the street, you sell the entire time. There's live music, there's things going on. There's common consumption, so people are drinking in the street.
It's always good when they can drink. They spend more.
Yes, it is. But it's also like I get to see my local community people and get to form a connection with them and a bond, and they several people, because I did not set up this in the spring, because I was going through some things. I did not set up in the spring. Several people were like, I was looking for you and stuff and everything. So setting up this, I think I'll probably will set up at the convention this year. For It's just a Saturday, so it'll probably be fun to set up and do that. But and the weekend before that, I'll be helping you or 2 weekends before that, I'll be helping you in Kansas City.
Weekend before, I think.
No, the weekend before. Yeah.
Because I'm doing 2 weekends in Kansas City and then probably Great Plains, and I think you're doing Great Plains too. So
yeah. So got the September will be hump time for me again. Taking some time off. Oh well, August. We after our show in August at Oklahoma City Comic Con in Tulsa. Will not Oklahoma City, Oklahoma Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oklahoma Comic Con. Uh, then I will be like, then it'll be, I'll have to go to my day job and work with the kids for about a month or so, month or two, month and a half. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm doing more shows this year than I've ever have before. And um, I'm still adjusting and figuring out where I can afford it and where I can't afford it. Because a lot of these shows going up to 2 days, it's immediately they're up to that's over $100, whereas before they were just $75. So they try to do this. It's a pay to play system, but when they expand, they inadvertently price out some artists. So
Right.
knowing what you can and can't do as an artist who does not do art as your full-time career, you have to realize like when it's prudent for you to just like not do that show.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I left conventions almost completely back in 2019 because they weren't pulling anymore. And decided to go pretty much full heavily into the Renaissance festivals as far as shows go. And now I'm looking at swapping that again for doing less Renaissance fair and more fine art stuff,
Yeah,
which is another evolution of the game of, as you said, needing to have certain things, needing to have certain look of tent, color of, tablecloths, certain
walking the
tablecloths that hang
walk,
the
talking the
same way.
talk.
Yeah, exactly. Certain look on the art, a lot of those are more juried, which is nice because then I won't have to deal with like 3D printed or AI art or stuff like that, which you shouldn't be doing with in a lot of the Ren fairs, but the smaller Renaissance fairs still allow a lot of that stuff in. Um, the bigger Ren fairs are a little bit better on that, but AI is getting better and better every week.
Yeah,
So we'll see
yeah,
how long that lasts. But the fine art stuff, they want gems and metals and changing surfaces and sculptural stuff, and I
well,
have a better shot of
just
that.
like we can, just like a digital artist can print their work on canvas and then like, yeah, that's an original.
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm sure an AI artist is totally uh
Doing the
and
same for sure.
to them in their mind they've already decided, well, it was my idea, so it's
Yeah, we're just gonna skip the
it's
work
my
part of it.
artwork.
Yes, exactly. Because the idea is the hard part.
Yeah,
Ask me how many ideas I have right now.
right, right.
It is way more than I can handle.
Ideas are like popcorn. You just put them in the microwave and they just blah, 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 blah.
Yep, pretty much. The cauldron of my brain, and then it spits out stuff.
The cauldron of your brain. Yeah, we need that.
Yes.
That should be a sticker. Brain cauldron.
The cauldron of my brain. Just a
Cauldron of my
cauldron with a brain
brain.
bubbling in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love shows. It takes me a little longer to come down after them than it did 10 years ago. I used to be able to just take a couple of days and recover. Now it's closer to a full week. When I was in the middle of chronic illness, it was closer to a month. So that was fun. It's better now, but I still have to be careful. I am very worried about September. 3 shows in a row.
Yeah,
Very
that's a
worried.
little bit of a burnout. You're you need to watch out for burnout territory.
Exactly. Yeah. 1 in August, 3 in September, a small one in October, which is the last small one that I do, Pagan Pride Day in Las Cruces, and then another one in El Paso, another Ren Fair in El Paso in November. So
Carla only knows where the brake is in her car, not in her art practice.
hey, I see nothing wrong with this. I don't know what you're talking about. Do we want to
Well, I
talk
mean,
about the
it's
planner
good
and
to
the
have
3 Oracle decks I'm building
that
too?
drive because I think I've been kind of I've been in a like funk in the last like month really, of being able to draw or create. Um, some of it has to do with the heat, but a lot of it just is getting out of the habit and stress. And I've been watching, and I still need to read the books that our previous guest Heather Hitchman recommended with Atomic Habits, and the other book title that I is a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's in the show notes from our last show.
It's in the show notes. Go watch the show notes. But yeah, I with habit stacking and creating good art practices and art habits. I just need to be a little work on consistency a little more, and not and get out of my head about some things, because like for all of my life I have not put art at the forefront of making my to bear my financial burden. Um,
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's allowed me to have more joy with it than that. And I don't mind selling my work and stuff like that, but I think I put a lot of pressure on myself this year to be successful at it.
Oh, nice, Renee. I'm glad you did. Sorry, Renee said
cool.
she rented. She checked out Atomic Habits from the library. It's a good book. It's really good.
Cool. Yeah, I put a lot of pressure on myself this year to be successful with art, and at becoming a financial leg that I could stand on, and forgetting possibly that the main leg that I need to stand on with art is enjoyment. Like I need to enjoy creating, and I need art needs to serve me before it serves my financial needs. And if it's not doing that, then like, I'm not creating the right art. I'm not creating with the intention to with the intention that I need from it to be able to maintain my practice.
Yeah.
So
and you don't seem like a process artist either. That's not a bad thing. I'm definitely not knocking that, but it's the final product. And I was like that for a long time. It wasn't until very recently that I realized I have developed coming around to a process artist, where it doesn't, there's a lot of artists out there that doesn't matter what they're painting, as long as they're painting, they're happy. Yeah. And I am not that person. And I don't think you are that person either. And I have a lot of friends who are not those people. They want to paint what makes them happy. Right. And that's something that I struggle with too, for sure. So don't beat yourself up too bad for that.
Yeah. Well, and it's just,
and you can't keep up with me. So, so stop trying.
It's just getting back to enjoying it as a process, and maybe using that as a habit to, it was never my intention to have all of my like financial stuff figured out through art. I've always admired artists who are able to do that. I've always admired working artists and the level and the caliber of art that they can produce professionally over many, many years. And it takes a while to build that into your practice. And I think, so maybe just too fast. And I need to find what brings me joy with creating for me first, and then build it out from there. So
for sure. And there's other stuff like, what are you, and this is not me asking you specifically, but what are you ingesting, right? What are you feeding yourself with? What are you taking in from the world around you? Are you watching videos on how to, and you can't submerge yourself 24/7, because then you experience burnout the other way. But
Yeah.
You know, what media are you watching? What media are you listening to? What are you putting in the brain? You know,
If
is it,
anything,
is
I
it
think I'm. If anything, I would think I'm ingesting too much. Like I'm scrolling, I'm looking at artists, I'm watching all these techniques, I'm watching all these things, but I'm not putting them into practice. So I'm
Mhm.
consuming a lot, but I'm not putting them into practice, and I'm not like. So I think I'm ingesting too many techniques, and I'm ingesting too many feeds of too many things that I enjoy, and I just
Mhm.
need to. Um, Go on a little bit of a diet and not worry so much about my work in comparison with other people's work.
Yes. Comparison is
And
a theft of joy.
yeah, comparison is the theft of joy. Uh, but and just enjoy, tell like I need to do what I tell the kids that I work with at school.
Mhm.
Just start making something that you want to draw.
Yeah.
If you have to do that before you go to the thing that you don't want to draw, it like because in a classroom experience, and I imagine in a professional setting too, you have to draw some things that you don't want to draw, or work on a project that you don't want to work on, and
Hmm.
so you should possibly I should possibly lead with something I
Yeah.
do want to work on first.
Yeah. I'm laughing at me because I'm stuck in the middle of doing several projects that I don't want to do. And all I want to do is get to the shit that I want to do, which is the Kickstarter stuff and the 2 new Oracle decks that I've come up with in the last weeks and
Yeah,
this planner I'm working on. And
your brain has just been shitting out piss and excellence here the last few weeks, and I'm a little bit jelly.
we talked
uh,
about a project for you too. Oh my gosh.
and there was, but there was like with me with projects. There seems to be paralysis with that. Like there's and I've been watching some YouTube videos talking about it, like that kind of paralysis of having a big project and then not thinking that you're going to be good enough to complete it, that your work is not there enough to complete it, or you don't have the CD B, the steps figured out to see it through to completion. Because I kind
Mhm.
of like those the kind of things can get like intimidating, and it prevents you from even starting sometimes. So,
Mhm.
so I just need to work on my confidence and and learn to enjoy my practice again and get back into it, and have fun and experiment, because that's
Yeah,
the only way to even making bad art should be enjoyable.
for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and like you've seen the Sumrow, John Sumrow and his sketchbook, the squigglies. Were you there when he was talking about how he started having other friends make squigglies for him
Yeah, yeah.
because he started noticing he was making the same marks over and over and over again? I thought that was kind of interesting.
So you
But
just
now he wants
and
to
then
do
he'll
it as a
make a drawing
Kickstarter.
out of a
So
squiggly.
yeah, yeah, and they're really good. Um, and yeah, he just announced like or mentioned like yesterday that he wanted to do it as a Kickstarter. So I was like, dude, hit me up. I'll help you out. And that's it too. Like if you need help breaking down projects and whatever, we can talk. I've got
Yeah,
ideas. I can help.
yeah.
Um, I know you don't want to ask me to help too much, but that's the shit I like doing. And if anything I can do can help you get your ass back up on that horse, by all means, reach the fuck out to me. Because I think you have the skills to do what we talked about now. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and those are exciting things too. I've also got ideas for. The thing is I have so many ideas right now that it's like knowing, like having too many ideas can also have a little bit of paralysis too. Like
Yeah,
I've got
decision fatigue.
I've got ideas for local workshops around my area, because I just got done doing a fantastic workshop for a gallery in Joplin. But I was like, there's really no workshops kind of like what I'm doing here in my area. So I was like, I could recreate that next summer too, and have some type of workshop kind of thing too going on. So, and then I've got Goblin Market going on with in October, late October, um, which is a show that I'm hosting. For through a like a little nonprofit organization kind of thing that I've started up for my local arts community and stuff like that. And it's just, things have a way of growing beyond you fairly quickly.
Yes, for sure.
And so just, sometimes it behooves yourself to do less. Like, do less, have less to do. Um,
No.
and that's horrible for me because I
I
do
don't understand the
everything.
words that
I've
are
got to
coming out of
do.
your mouth.
I have to do everything. I have to fill my days and my weeks and things just up with stuff. uh, with
And that,
but
ladies
that
and
leaves
gentlemen, is
no
how you get
time.
burnout.
But I'm not. But with doing that, I've realized that I'm not leaving myself time to make art, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a problem. That's a problem for me
Right?
because unfortunately, over the years, my brain has made the neural pathways that I actually think better when I'm creating. And if
Of
I'm
course.
not creating, then I'm like sluggish in a fog. Like I'm like, huh? What? Oh yeah. Or like, oh yeah, that's the thing right over there.
Right?
So if I'm not creating, then I'm just kind of like I feel like a potato.
Yeah,
uh,
no, I have the same thing. Yeah, I can definitely tell the mental backslide if I haven't worked on anything. And uh, I've been working on other projects for other things and for other people. And I definitely need to take some time in the next, probably not till I get back from Oklahoma Comic Con. But then I'll have some time to work on my own stuff because I would really like to finish The Lion and start some of the other projects for sure. So
yeah,
I get it.
yeah. That line has taken quite a long time for you to work through that
Yeah,
line.
I'm not happy about it. It should have been done by now, and I've got 3 or 4 other pieces. And I met with my friend Jeff, who's been helping me with my work and leveling up my skills. And now I can see what needs to be fixed on the lion, so that I need to go back and now repaint a few areas to try to get them back up to what I can see now. So
You did
there's
you
this
did
thing
start
happening.
45 projects at once.
Shut up. Let me get a mirror and I can hold that bitch up to you, Alan. You wouldn't have 45 projects going on at once.
We're cut from the same cloth,
I
Carla.
think so.
We're just
This,
we're just
this
on
is a
different
problem.
we're just at different waypoints in our journey, but we're cut
Yes.
from the same cloth.
I think so. Yeah, it's funny because for me, I keep drawing and painting mentally, and I talk about the crucible of my brain and putting stuff in, and that's how I create. Is I fill the crucible of my brain, and then it spits stuff out. And so I'm not one of these artists that can doodle like John and his do. I don't work like that.
Oh. Yeah.
And I wish to God I did, because I've taken a bunch of classes and stuff, and they're like, sit down and think about what you like want to paint and how you. And I'm like, no, I need to put that shit in my brain, wait for 2 weeks, and see what comes back out, and then I can adjust from there. And I've totally lost the plot of where I was even going. Okay, so I'm noticing a lot more, especially after working with Jeff and seeing a lot. So my brain has moved faster than my skill level has, and faster than this painting has definitely been worked on. So to turn around and look at it and go, oh, I need to fix this, and this is problematic. And I need to sit down and work on some sketches and definitely let the rest of me catch up. We're going to delete that bad boy. Let the rest of it's spam from Twitch. I don't know.
Okay.
we're planning on moving off of Twitch, by the way. We're trying to get moved onto Substack for our third channel that we're going to be posting to. So keep on the lookout for that. But yeah, I need to do a heck of a lot of things. And that's part of the problem. But yeah,
so you don't think the line's good? I thought the line was in a good direction.
It is. I'm happy with it. It needs more work, which is of course like a duh. But yeah, there's a few things like the mane and the face that I want. I thought the face was done. And now that I've learned what I have learned, I want to go back through and kind of glaze in some other colors and stuff. And in the midst of all this, I've decided to switch to oils. Finally, I know, just on the metal, because the oil paint will don't give me that face. It will have the closer look to what I want.
You want the luminosity.
I want the absolutely. I want the luminosity. And after working with the acrylics and being unhappy with the way the acrylic blends and moves and whatnot, some friends of mine talked me into trying oils. So when I get back, I will be ordering oil paint and going from there. Nice. So
I do like oil. I think oil is and oil really, because I'm heavy-handed and sculptural with a lot of my paintings, oil would be a natural way for me to go. As far as with painting, really just slap it on there, Bob Rossinet style, but I don't know. There's the challenge of doing watercolor or gouache. There's always that little challenge that it's you always kind of want to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, but there's also something to be said for recognizing where your natural abilities lie. And my natural ability, right? I have noticed in the past when I've oil painted, it turned out remarkably better than with what my other paintings have recently turned out with acrylic. So
acrylics are hard. The drying and everything.
I need to paint more. I just need to chew through some canvases and try some different stuff, because just like drawing, just like my other skill stuff, I just don't do it enough right now, and I really have to get into the habit of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and watercolor and gouache is where my happy place is. Yeah. I will paint in that. I've said this multiple times. You need to learn the media to the point where it's no longer a hindrance, right? Where it becomes an extension of your arm. So when you're painting, you're not thinking, okay, this paint works like this, and I have to apply it in this way. You should be working and practicing enough that, to the point, it takes months or years to get there. You can't do this right out of the bat. But where your right side of the brain is making those decisions before your left side of the brain can catch up. And I know that's not quite right because we're arguing left and right at this point. But the thinking part of your brain is not going, okay, if I add this much blue and this much yellow, I get this tone of gray. It should be automatic.
No, yeah.
Practicing to the point where you get to that point.
You've trained yourself enough with color mixing and things, consistency mixing with oils or things that your additives, that that the consistency is going to, the way it's going to look when you put that brush down on the canvas.
Yeah, exactly. So just getting to that point, and I'm there with watercolor, and I'm very much not there with any other paint. So it's stumbling through. I have repainted the lion probably from scratch 3 times. Not all at once. I have wiped it out completely down to the metal once, and then I've repainted the face twice, and I've repainted the paws 3 times.
And the market itself values oil paint above a lot of other. If you're looking to sell your work, people value oil paint over a lot of different stuff. No matter your skill level at that medium.
Yeah. It's one of the oldest paint techniques that we have, and the only thing older that paint wise is egg tempera. And I have thought about playing with egg tempera, but I'm not quite. I would rather do oil before I do egg tempera. Yeah. I
just gotta be careful with oils because they got that heavy metals in them and stuff. So use some gloves.
Right. Yeah. Some PPE. I've taken some classes and I've purchased some classes about how to paint oils safely. You know, instead of using linseed oil, using walnut oil, using citrus-based cleaners and things like that, as opposed to like turpentine and whatnot. So I have found in my older years that it is harder and harder for me to use chemicals. Cleaning my bathroom right now makes me sick because of the chemicals in the cleaners. So I'm in the process of talking with friends who are ahead of me.
Cleaning grade vinegar. That's what I like to use.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I've talked to, like, I have other friends that are very chemically sensitive who've given me some tips. So as cleaning products are wearing out, I'm ordering more chemical safe stuff because I'm finding I get headaches very quickly now if I use chemical stuff. So I'm trying to take the safer route with oils for sure. And I just need to not lick my brushes so much.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about, Carla, are you a list maker? Do you make a lot of lists or like or track things and like plan things out into infinite pathways?
Right. I try to be. I do have like a master to-do list, and it's blank right now.
Well,
but
you're even creating a couple of secret squirrel things in the works right now.
I am. I decided I need to get back. I need to get back to the habit of using a planner, but I hate planners. And for a long time, I was making my own planner. This is my bullet journal, and I was literally drawing it out every year and writing in what I needed to do and all of the other crap. And then I realized that this was taking me an incredibly like long amount of time to write an entire year. Yeah. And I thought I can just buy paper and print out a dot grid and my little like my lines that I put in for each of the pages. Like this is a week. And I schedule big chunks of time. So painting, you know, you don't need to like block out 6 hours. So I hate the hourly ones. But yes, in this I have like a master to-do list, and that master to-do list gets filtered onto the weekly pages. And I decided 2 weeks ago that I wanted to try to gamify it. So I have been working on a planner that's based on gamifying yourself. Finding the balance between not wanting to make it another thing to do and something that's useful has been difficult.
I'll be your test product dummy on that.
Absolutely. I've got about a dozen beta testers now. They're like, that sounds like fun. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And there's like no XP bar, so you're not grinding XP, but you do get points. There's 8 skill points. That's like, you know, courage and resilience and a bunch of other ones. And then as you finish tasks, you get to put points onto your character sheet so you can watch yourself grow.
Oh, and cool.
Thank you. And then there's like campaigns, which are like big projects that you want to do. So for me, like the next Oracle deck is a big campaign, and I would break that down into the steps that I needed to do by filling out the campaign sheet. Mm-hmm. And from there, that jumps to like boss monsters. So boss monster would be like getting it to the publisher or pitching it, things like that. And then there's skill trees, which are like the personal stuff that you want to do. So, you know, I want to lift 50 pounds. So you write it down on your little, or get stronger is your top skill. And then that filters down into your other skills. And then in all of that, because I'm trying to make a cohesive system, there's a side quest page that's just that mega to-do list where you just start writing down shit that you need to do. And that gets pulled off into your daily quest lines. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so you would have like that big long to-do list, but you would pull from that and break that into smaller chunks over your week. And then you're not looking at a giant to-do list.
Yeah, I don't really do lists very well because I don't stick to them at all. Mm-hmm. Like I generally like know when my bills need to get paid. I generally know, you know, when things have to happen. So I don't like. I just learned like those are when those things have to happen. But like the lists have always been kind of. I haven't even made. I have one of those erasable monthly calendars. I haven't filled it out in 2 months.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, it's just another thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so my brain like just auto ejects it. But a friend of mine tonight talked about just do a thing that you think is significant towards like a goal that you have, and then
Mhm.
write it down, and then check mark it, and that's like instant dopamine. Like, and then like you can look back at that and be like, wow, I got that done, and that's I like to start off with, especially for people that aren't used to journaling or writing down shit. Like that seems to be like, I don't know. It did fill me with the happy fuzzies to just write it down and check it off. It's like I fed myself. I put in a load of laundry. I still have to put it in the dryer, but
The dryer boss is a large boss in my world too, because I can wash it just fine. It usually ends up going in the washing machine twice or three times before I
yeah,
get
because you open it up and you smell it.
into
And you go,
the yeah.
oh,
Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, the dryer is one of my consistent bosses for sure. And that's part of why I also wanted to make this planner is there's an achievement page where you can fill out the achievements that you've done and you can collect. So at the end of the year, at the end of the 3 months or whatever, you can look back and you go, holy shit, I did that shit. And that's amazing because we are brilliant at figuring out all of the awesome or all of the shit we need to do and not remembering all of the awesome shit that we did. The dryer is just another dresser. Yes, I completely agree with that. I am married and my husband has to use the dryer too. We do our own laundry. So it'll live in the dryer for about 2 weeks until he needs to use it. And then he gets mad because my clothes are still there. But yes, the dryer is just another dresser. And the floor is the largest shelf in your house. Fight me on that.
So my daughter comes over and does her laundry on Sundays, and we will have dinner and we'll watch a movie, and like we have dinner and watch a movie, but somehow like the clothes do not get put in the dryer in time. So I've got like 2 bags of clothes of hers that are dried from the dryer that I've that need to go back to her, and it's like, come on, girl.
I can't
Come
remember to
on.
do my own laundry. I'm supposed to do yours?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, oh, I got, and it feels like, because she only comes over like once or twice a week. So it's like, if I don't, like, I've got to do laundry. I do laundry like throughout the week. Um, like 2 days of colors and a day of whites and then back to colors and then
You separate them? I'm impressed.
well, the whites and the
I just don't buy anything white.
the whites and the colors I do, but
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I even now I just had a kick-ass Kickstarter, and like remembering that I just had a kick-ass Kickstarter and this is probably why I'm kind of worn out right now is a hard thing for me to remember, right? Like it doesn't matter that I just did this big major thing. Now I'm like, why the hell can't I get up on time in the morning to do the other shit that I want to do, right?
because you immediately jumped into more projects and new things. You did. I think if I were to give you any kind of art advice, it would be take time and savor the thing that you're doing, and like
No.
finish that one thing,
No.
savor it,
No.
and enjoy it.
Nope.
Before you start,
people need my shit. I gotta get it out.
Before you start 23 projects.
The new next thing is the shiniest and best thing I've ever done, and I have to go chase the new shiny thing.
Gotta chase the new shiny thing and do at least 14 shows before the end of the year.
I didn't do that much this year. Shush. I don't understand why there's not enough time in the day.
I know, right? Could we please have like a 36-hour day? That would be awesome.
Or at least a 12-day week.
Yeah.
Well, and I had a chronic illness flare up 2 weeks ago too that put me down for like a week and a half. So I am really behind in everything. And then, the desire to beat yourself up over that happening right? Because I could not function for like a week. And I came into the studio and I sat down and I hung out with the woman that owns the tea shop. And that's pretty much what I did every day for a week because I could not get into the studio or pick up my iPad.
I think if I had a chronic illness and I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do, and everybody else was getting to do the things they wanted to do, I think I would just want to stab people and just, I just feel like you fucks,
Yes.
you capable
Yeah.
fucks.
I don't want to say what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I am very fortunate that most of my friends all have some kind of chronic illness and we understand. So I have like 3 people that I could reach out to and go, dude, I am having a really bad chronic illness day or a really bad anxiety day or really bad PMDD day. And they all, girl, hang out with me on the phone while I paint and you can just chill. And, you know, even though my friends are all in different states, I can do this. And they're all very, I just saw a thing today, again, meme, so should probably double check it. But most women tend to carry more chronic illnesses because they hang on to stress and things like that. So it was like, bitch, flip the table if you need to. And I need to flip more tables in my life for sure. But you know, I, as you said, I tend to pick up too many projects and do too many things and push myself too hard. And that's probably why I have the chronic illnesses that I have is.
Well, see, and I don't, and there's the flip side of that, which the where I am, where I won't take stress on. I won't like the thing is if you don't build
Resilience.
if you don't build your resilience to stress, you just never take it on. So I let projects and opportunities go by the wayside because I just won't like take the stress on to do those things. And so like you can't do that either, like because
Yeah.
you have to load the stress a little bit to be able to move to that next tier, to move to that next level. So
It's another practice. And I know like for me, having burnout for 2 years and then trying to come back and trying to do all these things, I have no confidence in my ability to finish or do a whole lot at all right now. So trying to
with like $12,000 still in the account from from a successful Kickstarter.
Yeah, but the Kickstarter was easy. I haven't done any of the work yet. I mean, the book is done. The book is done, but I have to make the bookmark and I have to do 6 extra pages and then I have to adjust the layout of the book and then I have to do all these other things
And paint the flourishes on all the
Oh yeah, on 100 books. Yeah, exactly.
100
Paint.
books.
Yeah. And so there's a huge part of me that's like, am I gonna fucking deliver this Kickstarter late again? Am I gonna be able to finish?
Just do 25 a weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to break it up and I'm gonna have to break it up slowly. And with the ADHD, which I was only diagnosed 2 years ago. And so this is the first big project because I was in burnout for so long. And I think a lot of that burnout was processing the fact that I have ADHD and like recognizing what I've missed in my life and what I struggled with because of the ADHD. Trying to figure out a way around this.
At least you're processing it. You don't run from it. You face your dragon head on.
Choice.
Like a boss.
Thanks.
Like, you know, I am pretty sure I have undiagnosed ADHD, and you know I don't.
With just the dryer boss and your hatred of lists alone, I could diagnose you.
The dreaded dryer boss.
The dreaded dryer boss.
Hatred.
I have a sheet for that in the new planner, by the way.
And
I have a mini boss sheet.
How to turn your hated thing to do into the final boss.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there's mini bosses, and then there's regular bosses, and then there's raid bosses, and then there's world bosses, and I have it all broken down into little sheets, and you get extra points depending on the boss. Yeah. I am totally nerding out over this. It's so dumb. Like it's.
Oh, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I feel like we need to make sticker sheets for it too, and
Oh,
like
there will be sticker
do
sheets.
like the
Oh
little
my God, will there be
achievement
sticker
unlock
sheets?
sticker sheets and like
Yes, little icons for. Oh
yeah,
no,
little
oh no, that's in the
icons.
that's in the planning folder already. Stickers
Nice.
and washi tape. I don't know what happened, but I seem to have completely created a stationery company in the last month between the planner and the journals and everything for.
Hold on. Let me get this other weight and just stack it on it.
Oh yeah. I know. I need to
I'm
find a
just gonna bring
manufacturer.
this
And I
other
need
weight
to
out and stack it on.
see. You know what's funny is my therapist is always like, dude, you need to just pay somebody to make shit for you. And you just sit like in the office and throw out ideas and then other people make it and sell it. And I'm like,
You're
that
like,
would be
you're like,
ideal.
all right, what if?
Yeah, I know. My name is Carla and I have a problem with ideas. And I think we lost Alan. Oh, there we go.
No,
you like
lost.
you
You were
disappeared for a
frozen.
minute there.
Was I frozen?
No, you were frozen.
Me? Oh,
You.
I wasn't frozen, girl.
You were like, do you want to build a snowman, Frozen?
Do you want to build a snowman?
But yes, I have an idea problem.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
To be fair, most of them are good.
I do too, because I'm already like, Carla's thing like would be really great for dry erase magnets too for the fridge.
Oh no. And then
you could
so
just
you
keep
get
your character. You could keep your character sheet on the fridge and just and update it and like.
oh yeah, and notepads. So you have your side quests as that's your to-do list, and you can get them as notepad. Oh, bitch, please! I have lists of products already, like ready to go. I just need to find a manufacturer and design the thing.
Yeah. Oh, we need to make a custom cork board for putting up the side quest on the cork
Right.
board.
When did this become a we? Wait!
Carla! Didn't you
Get
say
off my coattails! No!
Didn't you say you needed a team of people to help you create all this work?
Get on your own projects, Alan. Get off mine.
Sorry, you have better ideas. So.
Coconut Dr. Pepper in my nose.
It's a problem.
Only around you. So yeah, I've got a few ideas that I'm working on, and I'm breaking them down, and I'm trying to get stuff off of my plate in order to do them. So talk to me in 2 weeks about how that's doing.
I'm glad you worded that. Get stuff off.
Get stuff off my plate.
That's what she said.
What? Yes, I'm trying to do that.
All right.
On that note, we've been going for an hour and 15.
Yeah. So I think it's time to say goodnight to everybody and do our outro.
For sure. If I can bring it up. In all of this, we've done 20. This is our 20th episode.
Wow, 20th episode.
This is our 20th episode. Holy crap. And I still can't remember the intro and outro yet.
I gotta read it every time. We'll get there eventually, folks. We'll get there
eventually. Yeah. I was in theater for 6 years. I should know how to do this stuff. Thank you for joining Here Be Dragons. Make sure to like, subscribe, and find us on the web at herebedragonsartcast.com. We will be at Oklahoma Comic Con in a week and a half. We will have Here Be Dragon stickers. We will be looking for more guests. We will be talking to other artists and seeing who will be crazy enough to come on this little podcast with us. We have artists who are asking for spots now, which is really cool. Like people are starting to listen to us. We're kind of becoming a thing now. Hopefully we'll just keep this ball rolling. So we're on Substack, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, YouTube, and anywhere else you listen. We will see you next time.
And
Thanks,
happy
guys.
birthday, Renee.
Oh, happy